I can tell you that, like, 10 years ago, it was all about, going to open houses, doing events. I was telling Angeline, I've done luau's with clients. I've done taco trucks with clients, where we bring in a taco truck after the escrow is closed, and give the opportunity of the family who just bought a home to, bring their friends and family and maybe introduce them to the neighbors. We've done all of that. But it seems like, man, a lot of people, most people have just gotten really spoiled over the last 3 or 4 years. I had a ton of clients that used to knock on doors, or realtor partners that would knock on doors and get out there and, really get to know their farm. But with the advent of, some of these platforms that, like Zillow and Trulia and all the, what happened was that a lot of realtors were all of a sudden, dismissing that kind of marketing, and they were just buying leads. And I can tell you, I was supporting and doing some Zillow, back in 2016, where it was working. The return on investment was incredible, but all of a sudden one day it wasn't. And I can tell you that I was talking to another one of friends of Angeline, by the way, Philip Greenberg, who said, yeah, well, you can almost tie that when it wasn't working to the time when Zillow started, trying to do their own buying, where they were coming in and with the Zillow offers. And, so the market changed when all of a sudden these aggregators changed. So what Angeline mentioned to me is that really what she sees is kind of stepping back and doing a lot of the things that that we knew always worked, that all of a sudden one day we stopped doing. So why don't you go into a little more detail with everybody on that, Angeline?
Yeah, sure. I would love to. So what I really want to emphasize today is getting back to basics. And what does that mean? Kind of what Barry had talked about earlier. What were the marketing methods we were utilizing pre-COVID, right? Maybe in the last 5 years ago, up to 10 years ago. I really believe it's a three-prong approach. You have to do a little bit of everything to maximize your marketing potential. And the three prongs include social media, door knocking or traditional marketing, sending mailers to homes, and also being involved in the community events that are held within your farm area. So by social media, I want to make it very clear that let's not make your entire page all about real estate. We want it to be a 30-30-30 mix, right? We want to put in 30% content about business, 30% content about your personal life, and then 30 about your hobbies, right? Like what you like to do for fun, your family, and then of course, real estate content. Obviously, new listings or things that are up and coming in your farm, you want to make sure you broadcast to your audience. We just have to remember one thing is that we're in the industry, so we watch the market very closely. We know exactly what the market is doing. We know where interest rates are. But to the average homeowner, if they don't receive marketing material at their door or word of mouth through their other realtor friends, they really don't know that, or they don't have a clear picture of what's going on. They may have a couple of ideas, and like Barry had mentioned in our last conversation, watching news from CNBC or CNN, those are all national things that are going on, and it may not apply to our micro markets. Each market is very different. Even in Southern California, we can break it down to multiple micro markets. So it's really important for homeowners to hear from a local realtor and from a local lender what's going on in our neighborhood. So with that being said, social media, that's one aspect. The next aspect is I want to emphasize door knocking and marketing again. Over the last 2 to 2.5 years, we've been hiding in our homes due to COVID. We haven't been able to really go out. We haven't been able to attend networking events or any type of seminars or things like that. So now I feel like we've kind of gotten a handle on things and we are kind of trying to live in this new normalcy. I think it's really important for realtors to know, hey, it's okay to get back out into your farm and door knock. And, obviously you can go with a mask on, stay at a 6 feet distance, but really drive home to the homeowners what's been going on in our marketplace, how competitive it is right now to get your offer accepted, what a great market it is for sellers if you're looking to move. Obviously, as everybody as everybody knows, we are still in a very tight inventory market. There isn't a lot coming on. In fact, today I was reviewing the numbers. Today in Orange County, there were 54 new listings, and I was shocked because the numbers have been in the low teens. Anything above anything above 25 was considered a good day. So to see over 50 new listings today was a breath of fresh air. I don't know if it's because the need of people to move has grown or if the realtors are just getting back out there and talking to people. One thing that we have to remember is in the general real estate industry, whether it be lending, real estate, title, escrow, we're in the business of relationships. So if we're not out there talking to people, we don't know what's going on, and we can't help and we can't generate new business. So I believe getting back out there and door knocking, sending out mailers, which I know a lot of people haven't been doing since COVID. And just to kind of give you an example of why I truly believe it works, I'll use my own neighborhood as an example. 2 doors down from us, the listing went up about a month ago. They just recently closed, but there were about over 100 potential buyers that came on Saturday and then another 100 that came on Sunday. So we know the demand is there. That listing agent ended up walking our farm and door knocking every homeowner that had a similar floor plan and just wanted to talk to people and find out what's going on. And guess what? Now another listing has already gone on and one is about to come on. So without those conversations, you're not going to know what your homeowners are doing in your farm. So the importance of getting out there, I just can't stress enough about. And then the third approach is getting involved in the community where you farm, right? So a lot of communities have HOAs. They put on, Christmas parties, July 4th parties, any type of social gathering within the community, you want to make sure you're a part of. Talk to the HOA manager, see if there's any sponsorship opportunities. I know right in our neighborhood, we do community garage sales every quarter. So, ask the HOA, can I have a booth? Can I sponsor coffee and donuts? Just a place for you to set up a little booth where make yourself accessible, right? So that if any homeowners have any real estate questions, they can come and ask you. It doesn't have to be a hard sell of, hey, would you like to sell your home? It could just be, hey, what's going on in the marketplace? What are your goals? How can I help you? Because I feel like really getting to know your farm will definitely pay off down the road.
Yeah, you just said a lot of great things in there, Angeline. First of all, what really resonates with me, and I think that this about us, is that, man, it's all about relationships, right? Like at the end, we all struggle so hard to get a business going. And it's so funny because I can think of two of my realtor partners right now that have been doing this over 30 years. When you talk to them about door knocking, like, yeah, I used to do that when I was new, but I haven't had to do that in decades now. But they did it. At one point they did. I mean, if you're getting started in this business and you're trying to build a business, some of these tried and true things that have always worked still work. It doesn't cost you anything to walk around. And the other thing is that one of the things that Angeline is talking about with, doing events and whatnot. So when I lived in Lake Forest, I was the vice president of the Veterans Association of America, VA rep. the newly vice president of Orange County, and we did some events at the Sun and Sail Club. And, I didn't want anything out of it. I wasn't looking for any business. What I was looking for was to raise money for veterans. And people after that started, when they would see me, they would go, "You're the guy that, that tries to help veterans," right? So like, that's the other thing that I might throw out there, is that if you're going to do an event, pick some sort of a worthwhile organization that maybe you can raise money for, because now you're not just out there asking people for a listing. You're out there and you're trying to ask people, if they wouldn't mind trying to help you raise money for a worthy cause. That is a great conversation starter, and you're helping out the nonprofit, right? So if you don't have a lender that is willing to do this with you, you need to find one, because a great lender is going to back the efforts of a great realtor. And that's also an opportunity for a lender to just strengthen their relationship with their realtor partner. So really important. I think the other thing that Angelina told me was that if you try and think on a little bit smaller scale. If you've got a farm of 2,000 people, your farm is too big. How are you going to be able to get to know 2,000 people? Why don't you share a little bit about that, Angeline?
Yes, an often misconception is, especially for newer realtors, let's cast the widest net possible and see what type of results we get. And in theory, that sounds promising, but in reality, what I've learned over the last, 15, 17 years is that you really want to dial it down. Your farm should be no more than 400 to 500 homes, because that is a good size where you will be able to really get to know each homeowner and try to build upon that relationship. Because don't forget, you don't look to your farm as a resource center. The more you get to know them, they will be able to refer you to their friends and family that may not necessarily live in that farm, but you'll be able to help them as well. So I still believe a farm of maybe 400 to 500 homes is the right size. And I also wanted to piggyback off of what Barry had said earlier about, finding a cause, right? I've over the years put together like a calendar, more or less, of things that you could do throughout the year to kind of touch these homeowners without coming across as you're coming in to see if they want to sell their home. And I'm just going to talk about a couple of examples. In January, I always suggest, hey, send out a mailer to say, hey, Happy New Year. What are your goals? What are your real estate goals for 2022? Just to kind of get their juices flowing, because sometimes it may not be something that they think about all the time. And that might spark an interest to say, hey, maybe I should take a look at, what my interest rate is. Should I refinance? Or, hey, is now a good time to move? Have we outgrown our space? Do we have children that are getting older where it may work for us now, but maybe when they get to be 12, 15 years old and they have friends over, will we have enough space to kind of entertain them? So it's just a conversation starter to see, hey, what should we do this year? Or maybe not changing anything at all is, what they decide to do. But it does kind of just to get their mind going to see what they might want to do potentially this year. Later, down during the year, maybe around March or April, spring cleaning has always been a very, big topic on everyone's minds, right? We've accrued so much clutter throughout the year. And now that, the weather's getting a little bit warmer and, we kind of want to shed some of the excess things that we've accumulated. What I suggest to realtors sometimes is, hey, rent one of those dumpster trucks and put out a flyer and say, hey, this coming Saturday, I'm going to have a dumpster truck rented. It'll be parked at the, community center or the neighborhood park from 9 to 12. Gather everything that you'd like to get rid of and let me help you get rid of that. Let me help you shed the excess weight. Have coffee and donuts available. And again, it's just an opportunity for you to interact with a homeowner, see kind of how their year has been going and to help them shed some weight as well. If we want to move further down the year, during the summertime, you can always, get a little cute ice cream truck or a cute little ice cream cart, put some of your marketing material on it and just hand out popsicles on a Friday afternoon when school gets out, right? We all know kids enjoy treats, and it would really just be an opportunity to, give back to the community, and as well as provide a platform where you can answer questions that homeowners may have. Later in the year, when closer to Thanksgiving, you can pick, for example, Second Harvest Food Bank or any type of organization in your local community, and walk your neighborhood with a red wagon and say, "Hi, my name is Angelina and I'm your neighborhood realtor, and I'm here to let you know that I am making a donation on behalf of your community. I'm gathering, canned goods or any dry goods that is suitable for donations. If you have any, I would love to take them from you. And on November 15th, I'll be making a drop. You can come with me or you can give me your goods." And then that allows you an opportunity to give back to the community, as well as to kind of take your relationship one step further with those homeowners.